Hello, Namaste, and welcome to this Pranayama practice. I invite you to find comfort in your seated position, and just a fair warning that there might be some outside sounds, which I cannot control, that might be heard in this video. And it's kind of like life, you know? There's so much that happens on the outside world that we want to control, and things would be much better if we could control it. But it's really about controlling our own mind. And through the practice of breathing, we can slow down the mind. We can start to shut off the sympathetic nervous system and turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us rest and digest much better. So, if you're ready, let's get started. I invite you to either fold up your yoga mat or find a pillow. And if you're not able to bring your knees down to the ground, really fold up your yoga mat so that you're open in your torso. And that brings forth a greater ability to breathe deeper. So we want to raise the pelvis above the knees. Finding our center is most important when we're doing this practice. A lot of people just go into the breathing and they're lopsided, they're not in equilibrium. And this is something that's really important as you start to tweak in very subtle ways your practice. It's really important to feel where your body is connecting to the earth underneath you. So we'll start by bringing a mudra into your hands. I'll introduce a mudra that I use a lot, and it's the thumb, middle, and index finger together, kind of looking like a rabbit. This mudra is called Apana Mudra. So Apana Mudra connects to the downward force. And I think it's really important for us to be grounded all the time. If we're not grounded, we can't think clearly, we make decisions that we regret, we kind of feel spacey or discombobulated. So the more that we hold this mudra, the more the energy moves into the lower vayu, so the lower energies of the Muladhara Svadhisthana chakra, the first and second chakra. So and if you don't want to use the Apana mudra, you can use any mudra you want. I invite you to just close your eyes and begin within. So we begin by finding our center, and that is our foundation. So bring awareness to the sit bones, right in the middle of the glutes, in your bum, and feel an equal distribution of weight. So you might have to come forward and go back, so you feel yourself equally connecting to the surface underneath you. And then through your awareness, allow the breath to rise and fall, and just notice how you are breathing and the quality of your breath in this moment. Notice how your body is sitting on top of one another. So ideally, now that we have established a concrete foundation, we want to have our chest above our pelvis and our head above our chest. Our shoulders are back, our chest is lifted without compromising the foundation. Allow your awareness to go into deep breathing. What does it feel like in your body as if you were to take your last 3 breaths? How deep would they be? And how does it move through your body? Is there pauses after the in and out breath? Is there a slow breath? Is it fast? And how slow do you exhale? You might bring awareness to each exhalation and inhalation by counting. Counting on each inhalation how long it takes you to fill up the lungs, how many seconds do you retain, and how many seconds it takes you to release the air out. By now you've probably finished your third breath. I invite you to continue to breathe and just witness, watch, removing any tendency to judge or analyze. It just is what it is. It's constantly moving. It's constantly changing. And it's all perfect. Just becoming a witness as if you were outside of your body, looking at your body, being breathed by this life force energy that's giving you life. One last full round, wherever you are. Just notice how your mind feels. Any changes that you might notice. And just let that go. Moving now into something called the cleansing breath. Cleansing breath helps us remove residual carbon dioxide in the lower part of the lungs. It helps to bring in more oxygen into the body. And it is done by pulsing the air out and then breathing in through the nose. It looks something like this. When we pulse the air out, it gives pressure in the lower abdominal region, squeezing more of the air out in the bottom part of the lungs. And then when we breathe in, we have more room for the oxygen to go in. You'll feel fresh, you'll feel clearer. Let's give it a try. Let's do it 3 times. Breathing in. And return back to the deep breathing as if they were your last. Bring in 5 deep breaths and notice the changes. Again, staying with the observation of counting how much you inhale, retain, and exhale, and retain. Once you've completed your 5th round, simply let the practice go and shift your awareness to the subtle changes that you feel in your mind and body. And in this space, just realign your center, making sure your sit bones are equally distributed to the earth. Your chest is above the pelvis and the head is above the chest. The shoulders are back. We will continue on with the full yogic breath and a variation of this practice. So if you're not completely aware of how to fully breathe deep, I invite you to watch this video right here. Click on this video and you can review the full yogic breath. Ideally, we want to go from the base, the middle, and the top. If you are new and you're not going to click on that video and you want to continue on, bring your hands onto your body, making sure that the breath is moving to where the hands are. When we bring in oxygen into these areas, not only are we oxygenating the organs that are kept in these areas, but we're also bringing prana to the subtle anatomy as well. So the 1st and 2nd chakra, the 3rd chakra, the 4th and 5th chakra are all receiving the pranic energy. And each chakra connects to each element inside of our body. So there's a lot of rewards to having a full yogic breath. So imagine that you're climbing a stair with your breath. So you can inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause, until you get to the top of the stair. And once you get to the top of the stair, we're going to contract moola bandha. you're going to contract and release, moola bandha, the pelvic floor. If you don't have a subtle connection to moola bandha, for the men it's in the perineum, for the women it's 5 inches into the yoni, or the cervix. So you're just going to contract and release, and then you're going to exhale with the ujjayi breath, slowly, until you get back down. And we will begin again. And there'll be a slight pause at the end. I will guide you through it, and then you'll find your own rhythm and own timing. So, let us take a deep breath in, release with a sigh, and then begin together. Inhale, pause. In, pause. In, pause. In, pause. In, pause. In, pause. Pause. With the use of ujjayi, slowly exhale. And repeat that practice a few times at your own rhythm. Again, once you get to the top, it's anywhere between 3 and 7 pauses as you go up. Once you get to the top, without creating tension in the body, there's a slight contraction, moola bandha. Not sure about moola bandha? Contract the whole pelvic floor as you retain, without creating stress. When you're ready to let go, instead of just allowing all the pranic energy to be released, instead of going nice and slow, as if you're allowing silk to move through a small little space and weaving that silk through this small space with control, with grace and fluidity, until you reach back down to the bottom of empty lungs with another rest and begin again. So, when you're ready, I invite you to reassess your foundation, making sure that your sit bones are equally connected, your chest is lifted, the shoulders are back, and the head, the chin is parallel to the floor. Let's begin. I invite you to close your eyes and become aware of how the breath is moving in your body. Complete the round that you're on and then witness the cause and effects of the practice. And slowly let go of the observation as we move on to the next practice. We will start with 3 rounds of Uddiyana Bandha. If you're not familiar with Bandhas, I invite you to watch this video here about Bandhas. Bandhas are locks in the body, and we'll empty all the air out of our body and then retain Uddiyana Bandha. So as we retain Uddiyana Bandha, we'll drop the chin down and bring it in, creating Jalandhara Bandha. And there'll be a lift in moola Bandha. So essentially, we will be doing Mahabandha. While you're in the retention of it, give your mind something to focus on. So if you feel you need to build up your willpower and strength, stay focused on Moola Bandha alone. And if you feel you already have great willpower and strength, rotate to the 3 areas. Rotate, and while you're rotating to the 3 areas, recite Moola Bandha, Uddiyana, Jalandhara. But give your mind something to focus on so it stays in the practice. We release the air by pulsating it out, and then a deep, deep drawing in of the navel. Let us begin with a full breath in and an audible sigh, letting go of any tension that you feel within the body. Breathing in. And pulsating the air out for the first round of Moola Bandha, or Uddiyana Bandha. Reflecting what's happening inside after the practice. So the use of Mahabandha is extraordinarily powerful for working with the endocrine system. It really helps the balance of hormones. We never want to go to the point of creating tension in the body on the retention. So I'm not counting for anybody because we're all at different stages. And every day we're going through different things. So today I might hold for 10 seconds and tomorrow I might hold for 15 seconds. So it's really important to count how many seconds you're retaining. Even the mind is moving on awareness to a different part of the body, or in one part, there's still a depth of seeing progress. When we count, then we can continue to go further. Let us repeat the practice a few more times, and again, finding comfort in your retention without creating tension. Let's begin. Let us complete one more round of Bandha. If it feels comfortable for you. And if it doesn't, just focus on a full deep breath. It's pretty intense practice if you're new to this. Even if you're not new to this, it's quite strong. And what's happening on a cellular level is we are influencing our increase of prana. So the downward vayu, which is internal wind, it starts to, instead of going down, it starts to go up. And that's called apana vayu. Hence we're doing apana mudra. And there's an upward motion called prana vayu. So their natural tendency is to go in opposite directions. When we create Mahabandha, they then go back into the center of our body and they meet in the center of our body, where we could say is our furnace or our center of electricity. And this is our storehouse for energy. And in Chinese medicine, they say the dantian. This is where our fire energy is in our body. It helps us digest. And so it redirects it into something called samana vayu. And samana vayu has the ability to store prana. And then we have more life force. We feel more vital. We feel more alive. And this is a way to cultivate more energy in the body. Okay, enough talking. Let's go back into the practice. Breathing in a deep breath and begin. Slowly let us move to the next practice. The next practice of Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati, it means skull shining. Kapal is the skull, bhati is the shining. Kapalabhati helps to clear the mind. And traditionally, it is known as a shatkarma or a kriya. It's an internal cleanse, and you will feel that becoming clear. But again, if you're in an environment that you're feeling really hot, or you're having hot flashes, you wouldn't want to do this. If you're pregnant, if you had high blood pressure. So really listen to your body, always. Honor Satguru, which is the guru within, as we listen to our truth. So you can imagine that you're driving a car, and if you never drove a car, you're going to drive slower, right? So the same with our own practice of pranayama. So never mind how fast I'm going. Listen to your own rhythm. So we want to draw the navel in as we exhale. So just imagine you're not focusing on inhaling, because the intelligence of the body does that for us. It's just a slight so let's go for 30 seconds and then 1 minute. The first round will be 30 seconds. Taking a deep breath in and begin. Slowly inhale, retain the breath, contract moola bandha. Slowly release the air through your nostrils with the ujjayi breath. Notice and witness the cause and effects of the practice. As we move on to round 2, let us go for 1 minute or anywhere in between 1 minute. Stop where you feel it's enough, or perhaps go slower. On your last stroke, allow a more forceful exhalation. Taking a deep breath in. And retain for as long as you possibly can without creating tension, and then allowing that exhalation to be released with a slow ujjayi breath. When you're ready, taking a deep breath in and begin. Upon completion, just observe the changes and the effects of the practice, staying inwardly focused. If you feel it's available to you, we'll do a third round. And again, go as many strokes as your body allows. And it's not about how far you go. You might even do 2 or 3 rounds within 1 minute. It's not about how many you go, it's about how you go. And we all have to build up our nervous system for these changes. And too much energy in the body might blow a fuse. So honor where you're at without judging or comparing. A slight alteration on your last stroke. Just draw the navel in and up without inhaling again. So we are creating a Bandha. So before we were taking a breath in and just locking Jalandhara and Moola Bandha. But now we're going to just allow that last forceful exhalation, draw the navel in, Jalandhara, Moola Bandha, and just hold for as long as possible. Again, give your mind something to do. So it might just focus on one specific area in the body. If you have something going on in your physical body with your systems, let's just say you have a pain in your stomach, then bring your awareness while you're retaining into that pain, whatever kind of pain it is. If you're healing with something, bring your awareness there, because where the mind goes, the energy flows, and that prana is a powerful source for healing. All right? So let's begin again. If it's available to you, sitting up nice and tall, reassessing your foundation, taking a deep breath in, and begin. inwardly to the changes that you are experiencing, witnessing, and feeling. And slowly, slowly bring your awareness back as we shift into balancing these energies. So we created heat in the body, now we're going to balance the nervous system by bringing in a balancing pranayama called Nadi Shodhana. Everybody is going to have a different ratio. And so I invite you to count. If you're new to this, you might just get used to covering your nostrils and with having no count. Or you might just have an equal count of 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. I'm not going to give too much guidance other than how to do it. We'll do it 3 rounds together with a 4-second count in each nostril, and then you'll do your own count as everybody is at their level that they are at. So we create a mudra with the right hand, and you might bring your peace fingers together and put it on the third eye, and the thumb on the right nostril, ring finger on the left. This is known as Nasagra Mudra, or the peace fingers come down. This is known as Vishnu Mudra. Sitting up nice and tall, right thumb pressing against right nose bone. Inhale through the left. Close left, exhale through the right. In through the right. Close right, exhale through the left. That's 1 round. Try Nasagra Mudra. Breathing in through the left. Closing out the right. Breathing in through the right. Close right, out left. Bringing in the retention of 4 seconds, so breathing in for 4. Retain for 4. Out for 4. In. Retain. Out. So do what feels best for you. And again, honoring where you're at. This helps to balance the right and left hemisphere. It helps to balance the nervous system. It's a practice that is good for all. Sitting up nice and straight, and I will let you count for yourself. So you might move your toe, you might move your finger, but find that inner count. 1001, 1002, or 1020. All right, let us begin. Complete the round that you're on. And then simply observe how you feel in your mind. The last practice that we will do before we conclude is a practice for relaxation. So we'll do 9 breaths of Bharmari, which is the humming bee breath. So you can use, if you feel just your fingers pressing into your ears and humming, or you can use your hands on your face, which is another mudra, to remove the senses and go deeper inwards. So 9 full breaths. And our focus is on the humming. If you have a pain in the body, bring that vibration, bring that power back into that space in the body, wherever that might be, or just see and feel it being in the Sushumna, in the central channel along the spine. And as you start to breathe in, imagine that light particles, photons of light are coming in, which they are, and then emanate it out in all directions as you exhale. Ready? It'll look something like this. Okay, if you're ready, join me. Upon completion, just simply observing, witnessing all the changes. Bringing your hands together and rubbing them, keeping the eyes closed, balancing the left and right hemispheres of the brain, building more prana, placing them over the eyes cupped, and breathing in that prana into the liver. Two more times. Now place the hands wherever they need extra energy or chi, and breathe into that. Feel that prana coming in. I'd like to thank you for joining me with this practice. May you continue to find time in your life for deeper breathing. Before we go into Shivasana, may we conclude with 3 deep Oms, connecting our voice, body, mind, and soul to the cosmic energy. Namaste. I invite you to go into Shavasana and stay here for as long as it feels comfortable.